Hey guys, today we have an amazing podcast. We have a beautiful guest in store for you, Katie 𝒔𝒂𝒊𝒂𝒏. Did I get it right?
𝒔𝒂𝒗𝒆.
Yeah, and she is beautiful. She's a bikini bodybuilding model. You're incredible.
Okay.
11 years raw vegan. So we're going to talk about how you do it. I don't know another raw vegan bodybuilder, bikini model in the whole world. And you're looking so fit, looking so strong, looking so healthy. And there's so much to talk about today. So stick around to the end. Let's hop into it. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you, Gillian?
Good. Thanks for coming out.
It was awesome to come here.
Yeah, no, you look so good. So I want to just connect a little bit more. So raw foods only for like 11 years. That's a long time. So what first made you just start eating raw food?
So I was at a place in my life where there was a lot of changes that were happening. I guess I'll dive into a little bit more of the deeper part of it. I was in a relationship that was an engagement with somebody who was a pastor's son, and I was in the bikini division within the CPA, which is now the CPA. It's a part of the IFBB for Canada, and I was at the national stage and I was doing really well. My dream was to be an IFBB bikini pro, and the man that I was with at the time, who I was engaged to, said that it was either bikini modeling and bikini competition or him. And in my heart, it didn't sit right, just the way that it was framed. It could have been received and delivered with more grace than what it was. And so I took a step back from that relationship and kind of explored what I was doing with my own life a little bit more. And I realized that there's different ways to do things, not just in relationships, but within the way that I was treating my body. So in that whole lifestyle of being a bikini competitor, being a bikini bodybuilder, you're eating lots of meat, lots of animal products, lots of sometimes dairy too, because it's higher protein, 5 to 6 times a day.
Wow, stop.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. And the whole entire time, my spirit was saying, there's a different way to do this and there's a better way to do this. When I was cooking the meat, and especially the tilapia, it was disgusting. I didn't like the smell in my house. I didn't like having to do all that meal prep. I don't like cooking to begin with. So for me, I was like, hey, there's got to be an easier way. And so during that time when I was in a little bit of a break from the relationship, I started researching ways to just beautify yourself, because disconnecting from that relationship that was a part of me, I was like, it almost took a part of my beauty away if I gave up the bikini competition. You'll have to mind me, sometimes I'll speak French and like I have an accent, so I try to like move through it, right? So with that whole disconnection, I thought, okay, there's got to be a way that you can eat and make yourself even more beautiful than what you currently are. And there's got to be a way that you can feed your spirit, your soul, your mind, body, and everything. So I was just looking up a website and I stumbled upon beautifulandraw.com. Not affiliated, but Tonya Zavasta was like the #1 lady who brought me to this lifestyle.
No way. Wow.
Yeah, I checked out her website and she has so many articles, and I just kept reading and reading and reading. And I love education. I have 3 university degrees, including a master's of education.
No way. Look at you. That's awesome. And you're a teacher, right? For anybody who doesn't
Absolutely.
know. Look at you.
I love it. Absolutely.
And what was her name again? Because people will ask.
Yes. So it was Tonya Zavasta. So she has been, I think she started being raw vegan in her 30s or 40s. I don't get me correct with the dates and times.
Yeah.
But she got into it later than I had, and she looks absolutely beautiful, and she's, I believe, mid-60s now, and just a thriving example of raw veganism and how beautiful you can get even with increasing age, right? So,
and I've heard, I think she believes in intermittent fasting big time too, right?
Yeah.
For like anti-aging, you know, a lot of people don't like that term, but like for anti-aging, yeah. Okay, continue on. Sorry.
Or youthifying, if you want to call it something.
Youthifying,
exactly. Right? Youthifying. Just the anti-aging term is almost like a negative term behind it. So
it is.
I try to speak positive things because it'll bring positive things into your life, right?
Exactly.
So just researching all of the things that she was doing, I decided, you know what? I'm the type of person, when I decide to do something, it's just done, right? I don't try to think of anything different except what I've decided to do. Yeah. Right. So once I set my mind on something, there's no way that I can ever get off of that. Like, I love it. Hard.
It's good quality. Yeah.
100%. So I decided to do everything that she was doing, and I was feeling great, and I felt better than ever. And that relationship that I had wanted before, I outgrew. On so many levels. He wanted to play life a little bit smaller than I have in mind. So God bless his heart. He's chosen a different path. I chose a different path. I chose a different path. And he's happy with his life. And I'm just excited for where I'm going to go, right? So I have so much energy and joy in my heart for this lifestyle and being in the fitness industry and with my teaching career.
Yeah, look at you.
It's such a full life. And I'm just so blessed for everything that has come into my life, right?
Yeah. And when you read this stuff, you were like, whoa, like raw. Okay, let me try this. And then when you first tried, how did you eat? Like, how did you know how to eat? A lot of people get confused with like where to start. And were you doing it right off the bat? Or like, what have you learned over the years with this lifestyle to make it work? Because you look really healthy and good. Like you have nice muscle, nice curve, nice muscle, nice shape. So tell us how.
So when I first started, I honestly probably ate a little bit too little, and I lost 30 pounds.
Whoa.
Like all my muscle, I will be honest, it went because I was doing a high level athletic event, right? Like I was at the pinnacle of my sport. This was a while back, and I had way more muscle than I do now. And I was eating a lot of meat, and then once I started to go raw vegan, everything of that was gone. I wasn't tracking protein. I didn't care about protein then. So the protein part is important, but I was eating mostly just like green vegetables, like nothing different than that, and super high fat. And I also stopped the weight training and did a lot of cardio. And a lot of cardio, just because it was like, for me, cardio is my place to process my emotions. It's my place to connect with God, to listen to praise and worship music, and to just feel my body and to like tap in, right? So during that time for a couple years, it was just cardio, lots of yoga, lots of stretching, and just trying to connect back to my body. And that was probably what I needed at that time. No regrets at all. But then a couple of years later, I was like, hey, what happened? Like my glutes, I lost my glutes. I lost my shoulder definition. I lost everything that I was working so hard for in the gym. And then I decided to pick the weights back up, and the muscle came back like nothing, right? And it was coming back enough, but then I was realizing I do need protein. So then I started doing some of the raw vegan protein powders. And the raw vegan protein powders, some people will say that you shouldn't be having them, but honestly, those are my absolute godsend because I have it right after my training, if I'm not intermittent fasting, and it will hold me over. It keeps me clear-headed. It keeps my energy not like too high or too low. And it's the greatest. You need to have, for somebody who's physically active in the gym, you need to make sure your protein is up because it's the basis of your body, right? We're mostly water and protein. So that's what I focus on in my diet, is protein and hydrating foods, because that will keep everything that you're losing in the day, right? When you're working out lots, you're expending water, sweat, everything, even the air that you breathe. And me talking right now, I teach French all day. I'm talking all day long. That's all I do is speak. So for me, making sure that hydration is up and that the protein is there so that my muscles can retain itself is key.
So what would you say are like your top protein sources? If you had to name like 5 or name like just 3, like your top sources?
So I would say the raw vegan protein powder, which I primarily use a sprouted raw brown rice protein powder. I'm also a sponsored athlete with Perfect Sports. Shout out to them.
I can link it below for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they are Canada's #1 supplement company for sports and athletic nutrition. So I just am honored to be a part of that team. Yeah. And they're digging into more vegan stuff too right now. So they scouted me, wanted me to join the team, and I was 100% on board with that. So that is my number one protein source. Their protein blend has 5 different proteins from different vegan sources in it, and it's a complete amino acid profile that actually has human matched amino acids in them, so it's super beneficial for muscle growth, protein synthesis, all that stuff that you need for athletic endeavors. Second thing I would say would be your green vegetables, honestly, like spinach and kale. I personally love lettuce. Like iceberg lettuce is my absolute love. I probably
I love it.
I like, honestly, some people will make fun of vegans who like have like really boring looking salads, but that's me. I'm that girl.
But that's how you feel the best too. Just eating these simple salads, right?
Simple. Your body and everything in life in general, if you make it simple, it's so much more enjoyable for so many different things. Like, I love luxury and I love nice things, but
Me too.
when you break those things down, like, it's the simple things that will make you the happiest. And for me, like an iceberg lettuce salad with some flax seeds and flax oil and apple cider vinegar on top, there's nothing better. Like, that's my favorite thing to eat.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like, honestly, the protein is important, but it's also the muscle synthesis and the muscle stimulation. Like, if you put your muscles under tension and force them to grow, they will grow. But you need to get into that mindset to push your body to that level to make them grow, or they won't.
So yeah, like a lot of it is what's going on in the gym too, right? Not just the foods you're eating.
Yeah.
Like, you have to put in the work in the gym, and you can put it in on the raw food diet and still get great results, right? Because you have it.
Thank you.
And do you have any more secrets, like, for looking this good and like making this work, staying fit, having the energy? Like, did you feel differences in your energy when you were eating like animal products 5-6 times a day versus then when you went raw and now your favorite thing is like iceberg salads and stuff? Like, do you still have the energy in the gym to the same level or more or less? Like, how's that?
I find that my energy now is like 10 times better than what it was. So the type of training that we do undertake to build like a bikini level body, you're doing cardio. Cardio is always key. So sometimes I'll be sprinting uphill, like 10% incline, sprinting as fast as you can to like 5.0 is like a jog, 6.0 is a run, 7.0 is, that's your entry level sprint. That's like your basic level sprint. I, at my peak level, can do like 11.0. 12.0.
Wow. Yeah.
And then sustain that for at least 20 seconds. 30 seconds is good. 40, 45 seconds is even better. Of course, rest in between. But for me, once I get in it at the gym, it's hard for me to turn off. It's just like a switch that I've conditioned myself to. So I've been athletic since I was in grade 7.
I love it. Yeah, you were telling me before we got on, you were in the gym when you were in grade 7. I love that.
I remember there used to be these like early morning workout videos online on TV. Like, you would turn it on and there'd be like workout videos where there'd be girls doing yoga on the beach or like doing different things like that. So I would do that when I was young, and it was my way to like connect in the morning. So it's always been me being a morning person, being hardcore into athletics. Yeah. So doing the hardcore stuff at the beginning part of the day is always best. If I try to do that at the end part of the day, it's not as optimal at the beginning part. I mean, one of my secrets is utilizing the herbs that we have in this world. It's not just the fruits and the vegetables that are going to get you to where you want to go. Like, if you have water and lemon in the morning and then try to go to the gym, it's not going to be as 100% as if you have some type of herbal pre-workout. I mean, there's so many different things out there that you can do to stimulate energy. There's like oolong tea, there's rooibos. Rooibos is not as like high octane as some other ones, but there's like yerba mate, there's guarana seed, there's ginseng. I use gunpowder green tea as well, which I would honestly not live a day without. Like, I do 5 tablespoons in the morning.
Wow.
And
of the green tea?
Yeah. Some people say, oh, that's too much. You're doing too much in the morning. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm kicking your butt at the gym. So don't even try.
It's working
like,
for you, right?
Like, when I'm at the gym, there's not one person who won't like at least look over and be like, what is she like? That's insane.
Yeah, no,
right?
You look so good.
Like,
whenever I see your photos and your gym stuff and your bathing, I'm like, you are so fit. And it's just so admiring to me that you do it raw.
Yeah.
And do you feel like happier and more spiritual and any difference on raw versus before, or was it not much of a difference?
So some people say that they have became vegan for the animals, for their health, for the environment. I honestly became vegan for Jesus. And like, that's my heart. Like, if it wasn't for him, we would have nothing. And we wouldn't have this like blessed assurance that we have at the end of all of this. So it's not just about the life that we have right now, but it's the life afterwards. And it's also how we feel to be who we need to be for him and who he's called us to be in this world. How are we going to live, and how are we going to embrace love, and how are we going to take care of people and to nurture and be that person that he needs us all to be wherever we are at in life, whether we're teachers, doctors, lawyers, just stay-at-home moms, anybody. We need to feel our best. We need to connect within. We need to fill up our cup till it overflows, until we can pour into everybody else. And some people might take the cup that is overflowing and be like, okay, this girl is too much, right? She's just too much love, too much light. And it's like, you know what? Don't dull it for anybody. Jesus has placed that in your heart and has blossomed it so beautifully to show others the way to him and to all these good things that he's given us, right? And we can always look at the negative parts in life. We can turn on the news, we can look on Instagram, we can talk to people who have negative energy, right? Just different vibes than what we have. And if we're looking at that all the time, it will dampen us, right? So we just really have to connect to inside, to the spirit that he's left us, and to really dig deep into that and to share it with others and to grow and just be called.
So beautiful. I love that. And do you feel more connected to God on this lifestyle? Because I know I really do.
Oh, 100%.
I did not like this. Like, I did not feel connected like this before. And especially, I know you do fasting and stuff too. So that must even reach like higher connections. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So fasting for me is my like best way to reach a higher sense of self and a higher sense of God. Like, it's not just about self is nothing really without God. So for me, I fast for as long as I can. Sometimes my best days are when I fast until the end of the day and I don't have my meal until like literally right before bed. Sometimes I will always eat right before bed. That's my thing. Like, I have a high metabolism, so if I don't eat before bed, then I'm like literally my stomach's going to like shrink. So which is beneficial in many ways, but at some time you do have to eat. So yeah, I will fast. I like fasting for at least like minimum 12 hours. 16 hours is ideal. Sometimes I push it to 18. In my leanest times, the longer I fast, the better I do. And the lower fruit and sugar intake, the better I look and feel.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people I interview say too. Like a lot of long-term people, like Lou Corona. I was just in LA interviewing him, and he did like a full what I eat in a day video. That should be up now, you guys. If it is, I'll put it below. If not, it's coming soon. And I noticed it was like everything was green. You know, there was a little bit of fruit in one smoothie and like a little bit of fruit here and there, but it's like all green. And I noticed that with a lot of people I interview that are like long-termers in their 70s and stuff, looking so good too. They keep the fruit lower. So you do notice differences with the fruit with,
100%. And I love juices, but to be honest, my absolute go-to every day is wheatgrass shot.
Healthy.
Because it has, so it's like, it's got chlorophyll, it's got like all the green vitamins that you need, and also it's a complete protein. So I will have that periodically, even like during a little bit of a fast, because I find like if I'm having a juice, yes, you can technically break a fast, but it's such a small amount. Like your wheatgrass juice is like probably like 10, 20 calories. And like I just have a little tiny shot. So I mean, I love it. And you can actually feel the cellular energy, like the cellular regeneration in your body. And you like, it's like before you drink it, you're here, and then you have it, and then like you're just right up there, 100%. Right? And then when you do those types of things and you're fasted, like it just hits you different. Especially like in the morning, like I was saying before, with all the herbs that I do, it's a lot. And if you're not fasted, you'll be sick, right? If the traditional standard American diet has anything that I have and they go and try to ingest that, they'll be sick 100%, because there's probably stuff still backed up in their system. They're like, their intestines are probably still full of stuff, their stomach is probably still full of stuff, their heart, their minds, their spirit are probably still full of stuff. So they're gonna be sick. But for me, when I'm fully fasted and fully feeling like clear energy and, you know, there's no emotional toxicity going on, which like 99% of the time is pretty good, but then somebody will eventually sneak in and I have to try to clear it out, right? But it's like,
and
hey,
how do you clear it out? Like, how do you clear it out? How do we clear it?
Honestly, for me, digging into like worship music and like staying in that energy that I felt when I'm worshiping God, and just holding there and holding that feeling that when he connects to me and like speaks to me, I try to stay in that feeling and like staying in your purpose, right? And even when there's people that want to get into your life, like I know I'm an attractive female, I know I'm successful, I know that I have a lot to bring to the table, but when there's different men and even females who want what you have, trying to like, it's so much, right? Like every interaction that I get in a day, even at school with the kids sometimes, right? Like my grade 8 girls, they love me, but then they hate me at the same time. And I'm like, guys, like drop the hate for a second and let's get to the reason why you love. Like that's the reason why we all exist. God is love. So get back to that level and then let's play from there. So for me, clearing out that energy, sticking to my purpose, sticking to like filling up myself, making sure that I can be like sending out the energy that I need into the world. And if there's people that have bad vibes, like I pick up on it right away.
You can feel it
right away.
Our instincts, our intuition, like it speaks to us and you can
100%.
feel it. And if you don't listen to it, that's when things can just blow up, you know?
Yeah. And we also have to let everyone be and breathe, right? Like even in like my relationships, the part where I've had to end relationships before is because they wanted too much of me. They wanted too much of my time and too much of my energy, and they didn't understand the connection that I have with being a raw vegan or the gym and that sort of thing, right? So for me, it's like if somebody can't understand that part, then the two wholes can't come together. So it's even in like friendships, right? Like some of my friends will keep asking advice. I told you once, that's enough. And right, like being a teacher, oh my gosh, good Lord, he has made me such a teacher.
I don't know how you do it. The teacher thing. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I am the biggest lover, but I'm the toughest lover too, because if I say something once, that's it. That's what it is. Right. And my dad that's the way he is. And I just like, I love my dad, but he taught me that like I said it once, Katie, that's it. Right. I was spoiled a little bit growing up, but he also taught me that when something's said, you don't push, right? You push to a certain point and then that's enough. So for people, interaction with people, it's like, even if they want more of your energy, you have to just give them gracefully the no.
Have some boundaries.
Yeah. And you have to.
Otherwise that energy gets into us, right?
100%.
And then we need to go to the gym more and we need, then it just affects us, right?
And the shame, the guilt, all these things, right? Like even the bikini thing went with the other person who did not like the bikini part of me. It's like, I'm not shameful of my body. As females, we heal and feel our absolute best when we are moving and when we are fully embracing our femininity and embracing like our bodies, like we are absolute goddesses. Like, I'm sorry, like guys, you guys look great, but females, come on, on. Like you put a little makeup on us, put a little something cute on us, and we look absolutely adorable. We move a little bit, and it's like worlds change, right? It's even like at the beginning of the world, like man falls because of the woman. So it's these types of things that we have to remember that. You know,
nurture like our femininity.
Like that's part of like one of the reasons why like I just hopped on Instagram and social media in general like a year ago. Like I took from that relationship, I just took like 8 months celibacy.
Wow, you did? How was that?
8 years.
8 years?
Sorry.
I'm like
8 years, guys.
8 months.
8 years of celibacy. It's 8 months right now of celibacy.
8 years? How was that? Wow. So was that rewarding? Because you hear people say,
oh my gosh.
I just heard Lenny Kravitz say, I think he's been celibate for 8 years. I think it is, or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. The number might be different. I'm pretty sure it was 8 years. Somebody tell me in the comments, because he just came out with that and people are like, oh my gosh. So 8 years? How was that experience? Did you get a lot of benefits from that?
I just dug so deep into my career where now, like, I have my master's of education. I've got my principal qualifications. I had early admission to my PhD program, right? They wanted me to do thesis work and papers and like, it was crazy the doors that were opening. But God just kept saying, no, this is not it yet, Katie. No, this is not it yet, Katie. No, this is not yet. Katie, I'll let you know. Trust me. Don't worry. I'll let you know this is not it. So I just kept building until I had nothing left to build. Like, I literally, if you look me up on Ontario College of Teachers, there is no other teacher that has as many qualifications as I do.
Stop
and
it.
I will say that with
wow, that's
complete
amazing.
100% confidence.
Yeah.
Because I have like 20 different teachables.
Yeah.
You tell me to teach something I can teach it, right? Like, even in July, I've got 2 summer school gigs. I'm saying that like because it's the last day of school. I'm starting to use like improper language. But yeah, so like,
no,
I've got
not.
I try to speak proper because it is the best way to like get things across.
Yeah.
But there's a time and a place, right? So
but it's good you're so focused on constantly creating, doing what you love. That's important that we all have that, right?
100%.
Yeah, that's the key.
So during that 8 years, I literally just focused on having my body be as clean and pure as possible. And like, even now, the diet that I have, some raw vegans are like, no, I don't think I can do what you do. Right?
Oh yeah.
So it's like I had to reach that level of diet, of training, of mental fortitude, of like career advancement, of even like physical. Like, I have a waterfront condo. I've got like my dream car. I've got everything I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to push away the temptations, push away the desires, and just really focus on building what I could.
And do you think you accomplish more because of the raw lifestyle or no? Like, I know for me, I feel so much more productive, and 100%. I'm just, but yeah,
100%. Like, if I don't think I could even be celibate if I wasn't raw.
True.
Like, as
you know what?
as deep
Probably.
as that is, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, in my opinion, right? So if I was to start eating bad food, processed food, meat, dairy, anything animal oriented, again, it's like you let one thing in and then it trickles, right? And then you would see the trickle effect. And it's even like, I remember during that time.
That's very true.
Yeah, even during that time when I would go to the health food store, like, I'm very chatty. I'm an extroverted person, so I just chat to people, right?
Yeah.
And then I make friends everywhere I go, and especially at the health food stores and the gyms, like. That's why I have like sponsorships at the gym.
Yeah.
And that's why I do the trophy presentations with the IFBB, right? So it's like, when I'm at the health food store, I'd be like, oh, you know what? I'm really craving that tofu right now. And this and that put together with that. And then my friends would be like, Katie, no, you know you're here for the lettuce. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
Those are friends.
I'm like,
right?
Thank you so much. What was I thinking? And then like I snap back into myself, right?
Yeah.
Because you can even like, if you sense in your spirit, like when you're trying to discover what to eat or what to do in the day with your time, it's like you can sense what's pulling you, right? And if you really dig into it, like if you feel the emotions, like just understand the emotion that's coming up, let it happen in your head and then let it go. Like, no feeling about it. Just like, I try my best to cut off emotions and just do what you know to do.
That's what I'm going to start doing. Yeah. We were talking about that before.
Yeah.
It's a better way to live, kind of, right?
Yeah. Because you can, like, as a female, we can be so emotional.
No, I've been so emotional for
my
41
gosh.
years now. And today is a new day. I'm going to start this no more emotion. I think doesn't that just seem so much easier?
It's so much better.
Right?
And like, it allows you to honestly breathe throughout the day and just to like disconnect.
Yeah.
Right?
And I want to talk about how the gym has affected your emotions
Yeah.
and like how the gym has affected your life, because it's not just your body, getting an amazing body in the gym. Like, how else has it affected your life internally and externally, maybe?
So 100%, if I don't work out in the morning, it's a different Katie. It's a different day, right? I would even, and my principal knows this, we've got a great relationship, so I'm fine with saying this, but I would even call in sick.
Wow, so it's that big a difference for you.
Yeah, I honestly, especially the cardio. The cardio is like key, because for me, just like letting energy flow through your body, because when you're sleeping, it's not just, oh, toxins are releasing from your body and your cells are regenerating. Yeah, that's cool, that's happening, but also think about all the stuff that you picked up throughout the day. Like I'm dealing with 280 kids. And our school is growing. So I'm coming in contact with 280
when
energies.
You're working in a school, all the people that are sick, like you have to keep your immune system at its best, right? And the gym does that, right?
And it's not just physical sickness. It's like spiritually, they're holding so much. And these families are all disconnected now. Like I'm going to say probably 80%. And
I know, because I have kids in school too. The way everybody's eating now too, I'm just like, this is crazy. At my daughter's school, when I pull up and drop her off, I swear to you, every single day there's multiple kids that are literally having chips for breakfast. They have big bags of chips and they're just eating chips at like, this is like 8:00 in the morning. I'm just like, what is happening? My daughter's like, yeah, that's how everyone is. Like, I'm just like, this is worse than when I was in the 80s. Like, what is going to happen in like 10 years? It's just like, it's not a joke, right?
So, like, to be real with you, I'm not like the C word. I shouldn't even say it, but COVID, it's a game changer at so many levels. I serve on different things within the school board. One of the things that I do is I do the Eat Well to Excel program, which we are provided money from the government to service our schools and provide healthy food for our students. Since COVID, now with the different food handling rules, we can't offer fruit and vegetables to the kids because our hands are touching the fruits and vegetables. So I had to actually step down from that role because it was just draining me.
I don't blame you.
Because we had to then hand out granola bars. And then now with all the packaging rules, everything has to be peanut free, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what?
I didn't have these peanut allergies when I was little. Everything's gone crazy. It makes you think, how's it going to be in 10 years, right? It's actually crazy. It's crazy. It's scary.
Yeah. And it's like there's lots of divorce. There's lots of different disconnections, right? So everybody's coming to school. All the kids are coming to school with so much baggage, so much screen time, so much like they're getting into relationships too soon. They're doing too much things too soon. The girls don't feel good about themselves anymore. The boys are not even acting like men.
Yeah. And I don't know how typically, like for me at least, like I didn't feel good about myself when I ate like crap. Like it just made me feel my thoughts, and physically I just didn't feel pretty. Like it's just like, how can you feel good about yourself when you're just overloading your body with crap? You know?
When I was doing the meat and egg, like it was eggs in the morning and then meat for the rest of the days, and maybe like one whey protein shake. I actually didn't do a lot of whey protein shakes at that time though. It was mostly the meat. And at that time I just felt like I was always on like this level, and I could never get past like something that I was trying to reach for. Like I always felt like I was trying to reach for something, and I couldn't really put a word on it, right? And just in my interactions with people, I just couldn't, like, I just felt a disconnect, right? And then once I started to do the raw veganism, I was gonna say vegan thing, but I'm like, that's not a proper word again.
But a lot of improper words.
Yeah. So when I was doing the meat compared to the raw veganism, it was like a light bulb turned on. Like I can say only like 3 moments in my life that I can pinpoint and say, you know what, that probably was one of the best moments of my life.
Wow.
So, and raw veganism was top 3 for sure.
Wow.
So, and that was especially when I was just reading what Tonya was saying. I was like, this is amazing. Why don't people know this? And I feel like this is why, like, you have your podcast is an absolute blessing, and like me doing what I can do in the world with what God has given me, right? Like with my love for Bikini. And by the way, my birthday is July 5th. It's coming up, and it's National Bikini Day.
I love it.
Born for this.
Meant to be,
right?
born
So
for
I just
this.
like I discovered that.
I love it.
And I was like, hey, you know what? That day was actually made for me because I was born before then.
It's so meant to be. I love how you're just living so authentically.
Yeah.
Because that's the key to our best
100%.
life. Like, you didn't sacrifice. You didn't say, okay, I'm going to put these bikinis away for this guy and then marry him. And then who knows, you wouldn't be doing, you're doing everything you love, you know?
Maybe me feel like I was eating meat again. That's what that reminds me of. It's like PTSD.
Did you used to put like raw eggs in your smoothies and stuff? Like the bodybuilding industry.
Like Rocky Balboa. Oh my gosh.
Well, when I picture like the bodybuilding industry, I picture like they're putting the raw eggs in the smoothies.
And he was
just
a bodybuilder too. And like my very first boyfriend was a bodybuilder. I've always dated bodybuilders or professional athletes of some level. Right?
Would you only date somebody who's super fit too, who's super into working out? Yeah, I can't see you with somebody who's not.
And Christian and like a 25,000 other things.
I love it.
So like I just know what I've worked myself up to now, that like I can't even be in the presence of somebody who that I know is not meant for me. Like I can't even, and they
like if you're on a date, if I'm on a
date,
is over.
Like I've broken many hearts. I'm like, okay, I gotta go, right?
Yeah, like you're not, you don't waste time.
Yeah, and like, of course I'm gonna have them pick me up because I want them to be a man. Like, come on, let's be. Like, I am very feminine, like uber feminine. So I need a man who's like in his absolute masculine.
And I think we need that, like the balance 100%. Of the masculine and the feminine.
100%.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful play, right? Like when you can rest and be flowing and nurturing and loving and caring and all those gorgeous things that we were designed to be, it feels so good. And I've had relationships where I was able to feel like that. And it just feels like a breath of fresh air. Like it feels like you just did a hard workout and you drank like a cold glass of water, right? Like that's what it's supposed to be. And like that's how we have to offer it to the man as well, right? And one of the things that we should be doing as females is like submitting to them as well. It's not the word that a lot of females want to hear, but it's what we need to hear. It's what the whole world needs to hear, that we need to submit to the men because they are the leaders. They are built better than us on so many levels. We're built better on different levels as well, though.
So what if some people feel like they can't submit because they just don't feel safe or comfortable enough, or like they can trust that man too? Do you think that means that's the wrong relationship then? Like if they can't fully like submit and trust the man?
I feel like there's probably layers of healing that need to happen. Like especially like for me, I had to heal my physical before I could heal anything else, right? Like because we are spirits in a body, right? And sometimes I even think of this. I'm like, okay, what is my spirit even going to look like when it leaves this body that I've been given, right? That I've nurtured and that I've been given. Like, what is it even going to look like? And it's like, I want that spirit that leaves to go with God. I want that to be as beautiful as what this is. So it's like when you're in that relationship, it's like, is this man going to help me bring my spirit that's going to go back with God to be the most beautiful spirit that it can be with him in heaven, right? Like, if that man's not going to get you there, then you shouldn't be with him, right? So there's lots of guys who may look good on the outside and who you might feel that connection. And I mean,
you're like,
feel.
I've been there.
I'm like, trust me. 8 years. 8 years.
Good for you.
And like, and people know, like when I'm at the gym, people know. They're like, okay, that's Katie. You don't talk to her. Like, it's just, they know. So for me, it's like, I want my spirit to be even prettier than my body. And to cleanse and to heal and to purify your body is probably for me, that's the best way for me to be spiritually cleansed. Because even when I listen to worship music, like I'm using my body to feel those emotions, to release it to God, to send my prayers and to send all my worship up to him. And then he just gives me that overwhelming sense of peace that just like transcends understanding, right? That will allow me to flow into the world that he's put before me to do the things that I need to do in a day, right? And we all have different worlds that we walk through, and we just have to put our best foot forward and make sure that we're aligning ourselves with the right people for that job, that whatever it is.
Yeah. And what if somebody's watching right now and they're feeling like crap? They're not feeling fit. They need to get in the gym. They're not in their purpose. They're not loving their life. They're not loving their relationship. Like, any advice for them?
Oh my gosh. I can only imagine. Like, I think of people who are just not where they want to be right now, and it breaks my heart because there's so many good things to experience in this life, right? And I know we've all made poor mistakes, and we just have to see, okay, a mistake was made or we've done something that wasn't the best, it's like we have to offer ourselves self-compassion. That was part of my thesis work too. It was about body self-compassion, about like how when athletes, when they're doing something and then they don't make the score, or they don't, you know, do the thing the coach wanted to, right? Like I can resonate with that because I was a track athlete and I did cheer in high school. So it's like, for me, I always wanted to be the best at everything. I had to be the best at everything. And even when I came home from school, if I got a 99%, my dad would say, what happened to the 100?
Oh, wow.
100%. Like, and I even had 101% in one of my courses, right? So for me, it was like, offering myself self-compassion for in times we didn't make it to the level we wanted to. And I operate at a high level. And even if I got like the 90s, I wanted the 100%. So those people who want, you know, even the 70% and they're in the 30% right now, it's like, hey, you know what? You're at 30% right now, but if you stop whatever you're doing, and even if it's hard, just stop whatever you're doing, you're not going to go to 29. You'll stay at the 30%. And just every day think about, okay, how can I get to 31% tomorrow? What are the things I need to do, right? Make a list if you have to. We're all different. I'm a list person. I need to make lists. I need to make sticky notes. I need to.
Me too.
I'm an executive type personality. I need to, right? And my mind operates at a high level. I get lots of ideas. Like, I just go get it, right? So if I don't write it down, if I don't execute everything that I want to do in a day, then I'm going to miss the ball somewhere. So for the people who are operating at 30% right now and they want to go to 31, they want to eventually hit 70, just start making those steps. Write it down, tick it off. Keep going, tick it off, put your dreams down. Like, what do you want? What do you see your life as 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line? And don't put anything in your life that you don't see fit for the future, right? So if you want to, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of some examples right now, but
that's good advice.
Yeah, like, don't, if it doesn't fit your future, don't flirt with it.
I like that.
Like, that's my thing. I'm like, Katie, does this fit with your future? No, then don't flirt with it. Tempting, I know, completely tempting, but don't even do it. Don't even tempt yourself. I remember when I was a little kid, a little girl, I was with my friends and we were just like spunky, curious girls, I swear. Good looking, cute little girls we were. And we would just, I lived by the beach and I still live by the beach. I will always live by the beach. And we were like swimming and stuff like that. Then we were like, we seen this house that we were always talking about that looked so tempting, right? Big windows and everything. And my friends are like, oh, I wonder what's in the windows. I wonder what's in the windows. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go check to see what's in the windows. So then I went to go check within the windows. The very first time, we were looking at this for years. And then a lady opened it. And she was like, I know, the window's very tempting. And I was like, oh my gosh. But she was just the sweetest lady. But it was just, I can still remember that. And it was like, even though you see these things that are tempting, sometimes, yeah, you can go up to the window, you can check it out. But then once you realize, okay, it's not as great as it could be, right?
Yeah.
Like, be tempted,
good point.
But just like step back from it too.
Yeah, that's good advice.
You know?
That's really good advice. And I just want to step back for 1 sec with food because people will ask what you eat in a day and do you track calories?
Juicy questions. Juicy questions. Okay, depends on a day. Okay. I'm a human too. So for the most part, I run the same diet within like 95% of the same everything, right? So if I'm training that day, depends on what I'm training that day, depends on if I'm going to school that day. So many loaded questions, but I usually say if I'm at school and it was a glute day, I do glutes sometimes 4 times a week. I do glutes a lot. I wish I could do them every day. Some people say don't do them every day, but you know what? I might do them every day just because people say that I shouldn't do them.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing glutes, if I'm going to school, then so say I train everything in the morning. I did maybe an hour of cardio, 30 minutes of glutes, and that's like a light glute day. Then I'm going to have protein powder that I make into a pudding. So I'll do at least 20 grams of protein, mix it with water, and the green leaf stevia, not the white one that is like bleached out to like nothingness, but the actual green herb that's ground into a powder. like herb everything, like natural everything. Like nothing goes in this body that isn't absolutely purified, organic, and raw. So I put that in water, stir it up, and then I'll put it in the fridge if I'm blessed enough to get to the fridge, right? Like if I see people in the hallway at school and I'm talking, then I might not get there. So, and I also am the assistant vice principal at the school, so I have lots of duties. So anyway, back to the protein powder, because everyone's gonna want to worry about the food. So I'll have that wheatgrass shot, and I'll do my vitamins. I do a lot of different vitamins. They're all raw, they're all organic, they're all vegan, they're all whole food, plant-based, right? None of it is petroleum based. These synthetic vitamins that are just going to cause more harm than good. It's all derived from nature.
Yeah.
Right? Like my vitamin C is from acerola. Did I just say ass? I don't know. Did I say that properly though?
Yeah,
so. Acerola. Say it again.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I will do like as pure as whole food base as possible to get those vitamins. And I do herbs in that concoction too. Oh my gosh, I should have wrote them all down. But I probably take on a typical day like at least 20 to 30 herbs.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. And like GBJUICE is in that as well. Ashwagandha, Garcinia cambogia. That's such a very potent herb to make sure that your blood sugar stabilize, and to make sure that the fat that you're eating doesn't go to the wrong places. I'll put it in like basic terms. I won't go scientific, but it keeps the mitochondria flushing everything properly. So I'll do those. The Garcinia is always like before I have that, because it'll digest first. And then I do the wheatgrass shot on an empty stomach, and then I'll do the protein powder, go throughout the day. Like 2 hours later after that, especially after I'm done, if it's a heavy glute day, then I'm going to be hungry again. I might have a salad again. Flax oil is the only oil that I will use. True story, even last night, I left my flax oil at school because I was so like excited about cleaning the classroom. Like my classroom looks really cute. There's like cheetah borders and everything.
I love it.
It's like the cutest French classroom ever.
I love it.
The kids are like,
That's
this
so
is
cute.
like home.
Aww.
I'm like, it is your home. And
Yeah.
like,
Aww.
I'm like, okay, stretch time.
Yeah. Cute.
Yeah, they're just adorable. So I was so busy cleaning the classroom that I left my flax oil at school in the freezer, because I was having a conversation with everybody in the staff room about the flax oil, why I put it in the freezer. And they're like, what, the heat point of oils? It's just, so I was completely distracted, forgot it there. So when I got home, my condo is being renovated on the outside, so I couldn't leave again once I got home to get flax oil again. So I had to use coconut oil.
You got to get Instacart.
They don't have flax oil with Instacart.
They don't.
I even delegated the task to my friend, and he's like, Katie, they don't have flax oil in it.
Are you sure? They do like, where I live.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
Well,
yeah.
berries just
I've got it before.
Probably just
maybe. Well, so flax oil is a big thing for you. Okay.
Flax oil and flax seeds are like my number one fat source.
Okay.
Like I was saying, the coconut oil, my gosh, it didn't do the thing, right? Like I did not feel as good. Like my energy wasn't as good last night going to bed. And when I say energy, it's not energy. It's like your peace energy too, right? Because peace is an energy. It's all an energy.
True.
And just like the feeling of, I know how I feel, especially with bodybuilding. You know how you feel, and there's such a body awareness that with different foods that you eat, you can't veer from that, right? Like even when I change my meal plan, it's not changed very much, because things are down to a science now. I know how the game runs. I know how my body runs. I know how the workouts run. I know my routine, what is best for which muscle, everything, right? It's down to a science. So that coconut oil last night, like I went to bed and I felt heavy, and I was like, not good, right? But that was the only thing I could do. Didn't have the flax oil, but I still needed the fat. It's a different component of fat. It's highly saturated. For me, saturated fat doesn't go well with me. I don't know if it's my blood type or anything. I just honestly feel like it's my spirit. It just doesn't like it. Like it doesn't feel.
Yeah, you have to
it
listen
doesn't
to yourself.
flow, right?
Yeah.
So the flax oil, like honestly, when I OD on flax oil, and I mean like I'm getting 100 grams of fat a day. I will be honest. Some of the other raw vegans out there are gonna be like, oh my gosh, why is she doing that? But honestly, I do 100 grams of fat a day. My carbs are probably under 100 grams if you count the fiber content, because everything I do is high fiber. My protein is at least 100 to 150 grams a day. Very high protein. No problems with kidneys.
No, and no health problems all these years?
No, I get blood work done 4 times a year.
4 times a year. Wow, look at you. And how's your blood work?
I'm very specific with everything in life.
Yeah. I just had my blood work. I got it back. Everything was great.
Gosh, that's
yeah.
so good.
My
That's so
white
good.
blood cell count was a little low, but then I see a lot of doctors say that that's actually a good thing.
Because the blood work panel that they give you nowadays is so skewed because everybody's getting so unhealthy that they have to make the metrics a little bit, you know, so that it's not so out of reach.
Yeah,
like so many measures. Who
knows who it's being compared to now?
Oh my gosh, good Lord. I work with the best naturopathic doctor ever. Like I absolutely love her, probably because we do 3-hour like facials together. I do pure gold beads all over my face a couple times a year, and it like stimulates lymphatic flow, everything. It sits on my face for a couple hours, but we do like energy clearing. We do different ways to like electrically stimulate my muscles in my face to like lift everything, because I've got great cheekbones from my Métis heritage, right, and from my French heritage. Well, Métis is French, it's Aboriginal and French at the same time, which is super cool. But like that whole thing really energizes my face and keeps everything youthful too, and keeps blood flow. She has me on a protocol, and I make sure that I follow the protocol she gives me. She tells me what to do for my beauty, for my natural health. She knows that I love bodybuilding too, so she's willing to work with it within that. And I'm natural, by the way. I don't take any performance
I didn't think so.
Okay, like I'm really trying, like I'm working like a dog right now to try to reduce muscle size because I'm doing the swimsuit USA pageant. So for like, because I have such a competitive drive, I have to do something like that. So for me working with her, trying to make sure my panels are good, she's like, Katie, yeah, you're ticking all the flags right now and you're doing great. But guess what? People are actually supposed to be at this level, at this level, at this level. This is your optimum. Everything that the doctor's trying to get you at is baseline, so that you're literally just surviving. And we weren't meant to just survive. We were meant to be great and to thrive. So we push boundaries. My naturopathic doctor and I, we push. We take herbs and everything to a different level so that I can be at my optimal self, right? So that I can run at the level I want. Like I run a successful tutoring business too, and doing the vice principal thing, doing the French teacher position, summer school. I'm always doing something. And the modeling and the bikini competition thing is literally 1% of my life. Like what people see on Instagram or anything out there in magazines or whatever is literally 1% of my life. So in order for me to do all those things and do all them well so that I feel good, I have to have my levels up high, and I keep them there. I test it. I'm going to get tested in, I think, like 2 weeks, and I'm super excited. I haven't changed much, but there has been life changes. So I'm interested to see if there's any change. And honestly, like I feel like God will probably bless me and show me that it's even better than it was, because I'm pushing through circumstances that I'm not going to say normal people, because that's like the worst word in the world, I swear to God, but right, but like what some people would perceive as like just gut-wrenching horrible, it's like, no, these are just things that we need to process as human beings, because whatever is going to test our character is going to build our character. And I want to look great on that other side, right, of whatever this is that you're trying to be tested by. So pushing through that, and typically the only thing, being completely honest, that will ever look off is like my adrenals, right? So my
do you think it's from all the green tea or no?
It's not the green tea, and it's never been shown in the blood profile or in any profile. But yeah, so I should have said that differently. But that's the only thing that my naturopathic doctor wants to keep an eye on
Mm-hmm.
is my adrenals, because the amount that I push myself in the gym.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because as a female, we were meant and created to reproduce, right?
Yeah.
So I've been a superstar athlete since I was young. And so I've always pushed my body to extreme levels since I was young, right? So pushing your body since you're young in every way possible, like adrenals and just,
That makes
right?
sense.
So
Yeah.
in a female sense, I still had my period, but now I did have a surgery a couple months ago where I don't have that anymore,
Mm-hmm.
which is my choice, which
Yeah.
I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
Because now without that, I can push harder.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to worry about that. I'm still a female and I'm still the brightest female that I can be, but I don't have that in my life. So I can push to that next level, right? I still feel the emotions. There's still the emotional thing, but you also just have to work through that. So for me, even now, I have to be even more diligent at testing that, because without that indicator, that physical indicator, I need to have the biological markers to show me that things are okay.
Yeah.
Right?
It's good. It's good you're on top of it.
Yeah.
It's good you do all this.
Yeah.
Well, this has been amazing. You're just so full of wisdom and knowledge, and I've loved hearing your story, and you look incredible. Like 11 years. I'm so happy to hear you've had no health problems and you're staying so fit. Is there anything else you want to end off with? Like, do you think there's anything we missed? Like any questions you get often or any words of inspiration you want to leave with anybody, or anything you still feel like you want to share?
What's one thing that resonated with you?
So much of it. I feel like I want to get more into strength training. Yeah. And more aware of like the things I listen to. Because I realized when you were talking about the music with God and everything, I
100%.
realized like maybe listening to Kendrick Lamar and stuff is something I should put in the past.
And
you know?
100%. To be honest, I love music is like my soul, right?
Yeah.
And I love rap and I love hip hop. That's my.
Do you still listen to it?
Yes.
You do?
And
Okay,
I love
yeah.
it.
Me
And-
too. I listen to so much
honestly,
of it.
especially to get through a glute workout, you need a certain energy to push to that level. And praise and worship music, I can do it and I'll do it well with praise and worship music. But at the same level, if I listen to something that's a little bit more aggressive or more has more of that flow with it, then you can get into it. But it's just where you are at spiritually before you listen to it to where you're going to go after.
Good point.
Right? So there's also a Bible verse that says like some things are okay for people, some things aren't okay for people. So it just is so individual specific, right? There's no cookie cutter solution for everybody for anything, right? You have to really listen to your spirit, and like what I say, maybe it's not right for you. What I do, maybe it's not right for you. Maybe you're meant to do fruit the whole entire time. Maybe you're meant to do hot yoga more than strength training, right? It's all about what resonates with you. For me, I find I love cardio. I love strength training. I do love hot yoga too. But if I'm going to do hot yoga 6 days a week, I'm going to look different than if I do strength training, right? Like that time under the tension with the muscle, there's like nothing greater to feel empowered.
Yeah, because we want our bodies to be strong, right? We don't want to be weak. We want to be strong.
100%.
Yeah, it makes a difference, especially as we get older and stuff. Like it's so important.
And you won't, as females, being under a weight training program, you will not gain too much muscle.
Yeah.
We don't have those hormones that will build muscle to that level that will make us look like female bodybuilders, because I do the trophy presentations, like I was saying, with the IPB for the Toronto Pro Show and a few others throughout the year when I have time. So I am in contact, like all of my friends are bodybuilders. Most of them are pro IPB pros, and the females, they're doing things that will stimulate that muscle growth. They're taking exogenous hormones and different SARMs and whatever it be to create that muscle. So honestly, you would have to do some different protocols to build that muscle. Honestly, being under the weights is just going to sculpt the physique that you want. Because that shape is only created with muscle. It's not created with fat. It's not created with Sculptra or Synthol or anything like that. That's muscle. And then when you lose the subcutaneous fat, then it'll just be skin with muscle and just whatever flow of water and other extracellular matrices that are under there just to make it all shape nicely. So I wouldn't worry about lifting too heavy. It's all about that mind muscle connection and working the muscle that you want to work to get the result.
Yeah. Okay. And where can everybody find you? And I'll put all your links down below too.
So I'm on Instagram at Katie Lesperance. So it's KATIE. I forgot. I go by so many names. Oh my goodness. But and then last name is Lesperance, LESPERANCE. That's my main source of social media right now.
Okay. Instagram. Yeah. I'll put it down below. Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you for coming on. Give me a hug. You're so awesome. Yay. And to the viewers, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got some inspiration. She looks so amazing. And just what a good talk. So deep. I love it. I love when we bring up God and spirituality and all that. That's my favorite. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.